Greetings from Studio One of My Media Prime Television. Good morning. You're welcome to the morning edition of news coming to you live from Douala, the nation's economic capital, with me, Fon Quinter. Let's begin today's edition of Prime Flash and the nation's economic capital, where some residents of Bonadibong neighborhood in Douala 1 subdivision have been rendered homeless after their houses were demolished. They woke up to the sound of crumbling blocks Thursday, September 29, only to find bulldozers bringing down houses that say they have occupied for several years. In an attempt to resist and take out some of their belongings, they were tear-gassed by law enforcement officials. Around the West Region, 12 pupils of Sebek Primary School in Jibam in Fumbot Division or Fumbot Noon Division of the West Region are currently in hospital receiving medical care after their 10-year-old classmate poisoned them alongside their class teacher. Eileen Sma with details in this report.
Was the first person who sucked the sweet. Then I sucked my own too. Dr. Njifo Njima Amadu, who administered medication on the 12 pupils plus their teacher at the Fumbot District Hospital, said they are all out of harm's way. 12 children from Sebek Primary School, Fumbot, were brought here together with their teacher. All of them consumed contaminated sweets. Some of these children were really agitated and suffered from exhaustion, so we did everything possible and they are all stable now. They are at the pediatric unit, so there is no problem. It is worth mentioning that the teacher, who was in coma, is now stable, and the boy who committed the act, a 10-year-old class 5 pupil in Fumbot, is currently at the Fumbot police station undergoing interrogation for almost claiming 13 lives.
We stay in the West Region of Cameroon, where a 66-year-old man has died of the cholera epidemic in the Fumbot District Hospital. To curb the spread of the disease, authorities have called on the population to respect our preventive measures. Cynthia Azani with details on this report.
The Fumbot District Hospital has recorded several death cases caused by the cholera epidemic for a few days now. According to the district head of this hospital, Dr. Nji Maluma Mama, the last person registered this Friday had contaminated his neighbors before coming to the hospital. We have been receiving so many cases. Since 2021, the frequency has not been easy here. We have just lost one person who is aged 66. He came with a severe case. We offered him a free treatment, but he gave up the ghost. We want to invite the population to come very early to the hospital once they start getting signals of the first symptoms.
Nous invitons toutes les populations à venir à l'hôpital à temps à venir très tôt, dès les premiers symptômes.
Many difficulties have been encountered since the arrival of this pandemic. However, the state has been called upon to help the victims financially on the basis that the epidemic is more complicated than the coronavirus pandemic.
Il nous faut absolument les moyens financiers pour accompagner, n'est-ce pas, la prise en charge, n'est-ce pas, de ces patients. Parce que
we really need financial support to further the treatments, and we also need groups that we can send them for them to vaccinate and sensitize the community. And we cannot send them out without financial assistance to put all these things in place.
Sans les moyens, n'est-ce pas, financiers pour pouvoir accompagner les équipes, n'est-ce pas, qui mènent cette lutte acharnée contre l'épidémie du choléra.
According to a medical practitioner, the population should take preventive measures to avoid the spread of this disease.
Comme pendant le Covid, il y a la promotion du lavage de mains.
To prevent this disease, just like during the COVID-19 period, we must wash our hands with water and soap after touching dirty things. If we depend on taking drugs, we can't do that forever. So it's better we should always wash our hands with soap and water.
C'est le lavage des mains avec de l'eau et du savon. C'est utile pour tout le monde.
It should be noted that the cholera disease comes as a result of consuming food or water contaminated by cholera bacteria.
In a related story, a 5-day vaccination campaign against cholera in the Lithowa region has kick-started in Douala. Prior to the launch, an advocacy meeting was held at the Lithowa Regional Governor's Office, where the program coordinators unveiled their vaccination strategy. Joy Ngong attended the meeting and now reports.
The third phase of the vaccination campaign against cholera in the littoral region has begun. During this round of the campaign, which will run until Sunday, October 2, health experts will move from door to door, administering the vaccine to all persons above the age of 1.
The main strategies that we have been able to retain as far as this campaign is concerned is the door-to-door strategy, the outreach strategy that can be carried out, be it at the level of schools, be it at the level of chieftaincy, be it at the level of markets or churches or mosques. Then another strategy that has been adopted is the fixed strategy at the level of health facilities. Well, we can also have special strategies, especially in areas with difficult access.
This first round of the third phase of the free reactive vaccination campaign against cholera targets over 1 million city dwellers in the health districts and areas of Douala alone.
The campaign this time around is not only limited to a few districts, but is limited to about 50% of the districts. We can say here that concerning the Littoral region, we have 12 health districts concerned as far as concerned with this campaign. We have 39 health areas, and we have a target population of about 1,050,224 persons who are supposed to receive their first dose of the oral cholera vaccine.
At the end of the advocacy meeting held at the Littoral Regional Governor's Office, the program coordinators urged locals to open their hearts and welcome the teams comprising of mobilizers and vaccinators.
Coming up next, 5 out of a gang of 6 human bone traffickers have been arrested and presented to the press at the Bonanjo Judicial Police Station here in Douala. The bone traffickers are said to have come from the northwest region of Cameroon, as the Lingande tells us.
These are bones of a human being caught in possession with these 5 energetic masculine human beings. They are suspected human bone traffickers who got intercepted in the Bonaberi neighborhood here in Douala by the forces of law and order. But how?
On this 19th of September 2022, we received an information that some citizens wanted to sell human bones by the side of Bonaberi area. That's why we deploy our team, anti-criminal team, that have arrested 5 suspects.
In addition, Assistant Chief of the Scientific Police Laboratory Services, Francis Herman DL, adheres that these bones have come from the Northwest region, as an accomplice to the group is still at large. Meanwhile, everyone may be innocent before the law, but not when a case is yet to be judged. At a time when the government of Cameroon is handling a lot to ensure a smooth functioning country, human bone trafficking remains one of the crimes many would not want to keep on coming across on a daily basis.
In sports, Le Coq Sportif and the Fecafoot saga continues as the French sportswear company maintains stance on dragging Fecafoot to court for breach of contract, which they are yet to get an amicable settlement for. Get details in this report compiled for us by Eyong Besong Magdela.
French equipment supplier of the Cameroon national team, Le Coq Sportif, may continue their lawsuit against the Cameroon Football Federation for insisting to breach their contract. In a press release dated 27th of September 2022 from Le Coq Sportif, the French company claims Fecafoot has maintained a stand on terminating their contract, which Coq Sportif considers abusive. This brings in a lot of controversies in this case, given that Fecafoot president Samuel Eto'o had promised to discuss his decision to rob Le Coq Sportif of their contract with Fecafoot in no time. Ironically, the indomitable Lions have still been dressing in the Coq Sportif brand, as seen in their 2023 AFCON qualifier game against Burundi and World Cup friendly games played. However, Fecafoot insists their withdrawal from the firm is logical and can be backed up, which may be almost impossible to reconsider the decision. This is contained in a document circulating the internet this Thursday. On July 1st, 2022, the Cameroon Football Federation announced the termination of its partnership with Le Coq Sportif, an information that was contained in a press release signed by Fecafoot President Samuel Eto'o. A decision that was to take effect after the 2022 African Women's Cup of Nations held in Morocco. And according to the release, Fecafoot wanted to exploit other new opportunities from an equipment manufacturer who is more respectful of their commitments. It should be noted that Le Coq Sportif replaced Puma in 2019 as kit supplier of the Cameroon national team.
Let's take you out of Cameroon, where 3 top Nigerian presidential candidates signed a peace deal meant to ease tensions during campaigning for the 2023 elections, though the ruling party flag bearer was absent from the ceremony. Post-presidential ballots in Africa's most populous country have been marred by violence, fraud, court challenges, and a rise in ethnic tensions. 4 leading candidates have emerged in a tight race to replace President Muhammadu Buhari, who is stepping down after 2 terms, with Nigeria's economy struggling and insecurity a major challenge for his successor. Campaigning for the February 25 election and Senate and congressional ballots officially started on Wednesday, with a total of 18 presidential hopefuls running, including 1 woman. And over 200 police officers rallied in Sfax, Tunisia's second largest city, to demand the release of 8 arrested colleagues and defend their right to unionize. Responding to a call from the National Union of Internal Security Forces, the officers in plainclothes chanted pro-union slogans. Over the summer, Tunisian President Kais Saied called for police unions to be consolidated into one organization, but the call was rejected by the SNSI, and protesters set up 32 tents across the country, decrying the president's decision. That concludes today's edition of Prime Flash on My Media Prime Television. My name is Fon Quinter. Coming up at exactly 10 a.m. is the brief with Lasha Kingsley and Gladys Bomotongina. Today's edition was compiled and produced thanks to Elvis, Modika. Developments of these and more be yours at exactly 6:30 p.m. with Eileen Samati. Then have a blessed day and weekend in the company of more programs. And the African Eye. Goodbye.